Hey everybody out there in the internet and comic book world, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. The review that comes out only once a week with a bunch of comic books. And we are officially at 33 more episodes until 200. We are at 166. 33 episodes from now will be 199, and then we hit the big 200. And we better have, and hopefully, unlike my 100th comic book review, we'll have more than just a tiny stack. But with all the books I get now, that's highly doubtful.
So you don't remember the big, huge gummy bear we got?
I do. I'm talking about the comics. You're talking about the
well, yeah.
And as we film this, today is January 14th, 2013, and it's Mike's birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Excelsior. Happily to say I'm 24 years old. I'm getting old.
You are old.
I know.
Also, really quick news, I'm still tweaking the editing program, so you guys are going to have to bear with us a couple more possible episodes. Once I get the tweaks out, you guys will get the fully edited versions, one part of the comic book reviews. I'm also working on making the videos HD, so you guys will be able to see us in HD. And as far as the digital reviews go, I think instead of doing it week by week, especially after I start editing the videos, the parts into one big video, I'm going to be doing monthly digital comic reviews starting this month.
I used to do.
Been super busy this month so far, and that's why I've been really lacking in the video department, not only for this channel, but on Ink. Ink news-wise, Dark Avenger Inc. Plus got 2 new members last week, the Mount Vernon Kid and R. Dowdy.
Yeah, coming at
the
you
legend.
live.
Both are now part of Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. Both are doing videos as we speak. Honor and pleasure to have both of you guys on board. There are still 3 more spots, or 3 more people.
Yeah, that's 3.
Yes. And for those 3 spots, I have people in mind. I'm going to be talking with certain people over the week. Unfortunately, I think 10 people is enough for a group. Because if you have too many, then it's too many people fighting over books and stuff.
Yes.
So it's not like, I really wish that I could invite everybody on board, but unfortunately, the amount of people is just 10, and that's that. So we'll see. The books I'm reviewing in this review were released on January 9th, 2013, and we got a lot of books this week. We've got a couple of DC, lots of Marvel, and a nice amount of indie, so let's not waste
6 as well.
Let's not waste any more time. The Walking Dead 106. This is actually a book I'm thinking by the month of March I'll probably have in my digital review pile. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, Carl's missing. Book starts off with Carl and Negan still. It's the aftermath of what happened in the last issue, and Negan's like, I still gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with you. You didn't think singing a song was gonna get you out of trouble. And he's like, so what do you think I should do with you? And Carl's like, I think you should jump out a window and save me the trouble of killing you. And Negan's like, that's what I like about you. But don't worry, I may not have anything in mind now, but I will eventually. I'll have something in mind for you.
Oh, this is a wraparound cover.
And it is a wraparound cover, yes it is. I got the wraparound one.
Sweet.
So, it goes back to Rick, who's looking for Carl, and there's lots of dialogue from people in where Rick is. And Jesus is also on his way back to Rick to tell him where Negan is. So, Jesus shows up at Rick's house in the middle of the night, and he says, I know where Negan is. And then Rick's like, did you happen to see Carl? He's like, no, isn't he in his room? And he's like, no. And he's like, then I know where we're going in the morning. So, Rick's going to see Negan. Negan's going to see Rick, actually, ironically. And Rick's like, where's Carl? And he's like, I can't wait until you see what I've done to your little boy. And that's where they leave it off, to be continued.
Wow, that's a real cliffhanger right there.
There's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of exchange between certain characters, but guys, if you want to see a fully in-depth comic review, you can check out Brant's on Dark Avenger Inc. He already did an in-depth review of this book. And, yeah, this book is definitely one of those really good books. 5-star book. You guys should definitely be checking this out. Also, another thing on these comic reviews, I think I'm going to leave the star rating system for Dark Avenger Inc. So I'm not going to be rating these by stars anymore. I'm just going to rate them the way I used to rate them. Whether I recommend you check it out, I recommend you don't check it out, or I leave it up to you. And this book, I definitely say you guys should check out.
Yes.
Next, I already read this issue in the Ultimate Collection, but Mike hasn't, and he's doing the Color Classics, so
yes,
go for it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Color Classics issue number 7. This is a very, very thick book, and the artwork is amazing. I'm just going to show you guys an example, but since I did an in-depth review of all the comics that I'm reviewing in this episode, I'm just going to tell you what this comic is about.
And I'm sure everybody who was around in the 1980s already read that also.
Exactly. So basically, there's lots of stuff going on in the TCRI building where the robots are fighting the dinosaurs, and this one's a nice page, actually. And Master Splinter, he returns. I'll show this one. And he just talks about what's been going on since he encountered with the Mousers back in TMNT issue number 2 of the Color Classics. And Krang, I said it right, talked about you know, his origin as well. And the squad's going in to try to get the turtles and the robots that's going on in there. And they go into the time machine, the Krang and the turtles, where in the end, April gets a surprise. And I just love the human EN like saying, you know, you're never going to believe the story we have to tell you. And I really liked it. And that's the end for that of the Color Classics. I don't know if it's fully the end, because it said the end.
It's not fully the end. It's the end of the story.
But guys, definite awesome comic book. Definitely recommended. I know we're not doing the reigns, but I have to say for this one's definitely 5 out of 5. I mean, great story. I can't hopefully see more, and I can't wait to see more. And that's for that.
Sticking with the Turtles for one more book, this week, out late actually, I believe, is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles miniseries, Secret of the Foot Clan. So for those of you who are interested in seeing the newer, redone, or revamped origin of the Foot Clan, it's here. And it actually starts off right away with the Foot Clan, how it was formed, who formed it, and I cannot pronounce these names, so I apologize. I will try the best. Originally, it was this guy from the U Clan, who was the leader of the U Clan. I keep forgetting his name. Takeshi Tatsu.
Yeah.
He was thought to be dead. He came back to life, and through demon sorcery, here's the whole point of the foot. He had lost his foot in battle, and he got a new foot, and that's where the U Clan was just died out, and the Foot Clan began. And all this is happening through a teacher who's teaching a class that April and Casey are in. And you also have the Turtles who are listening in from the Raptors because they want to know more about what the Foot Clan what the Foot Clan was about. Teacher goes back into a little bit more where it turns out that back in the day the Foot Clan was working with demons, and how it was thought that way. Artwork in this book is pretty good. I'm not too much of a fan of the way the Turtles are drawn. However, you are definitely able to look over it. I mean, it's not as bad as you think. If you guys saw the TV show of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where each of them had a different type of a mask, yeah, that's basically how it looks in this book. But it's not bad. It's not something that would really ruin your reading experience. So, the Turtles and April and Casey leave, and Kari meets up with the professor and leaves him a card. She's like, we found more. He's been doing research, the professor, in the Foot Clan for years, and he has lots of artifacts from the Foot Clan. And Kari, we all know, is Shredder's granddaughter or great granddaughter or whatever she is, and she wants the professor to do some work for her and Shredder in finding out the secrets of the Foot Clan to bring them back to where they were because they had, it's explained throughout the book. The Turtles, April, and Casey go back to Splinter, who tells more of the story, where it turns out that I'm not saying his name, is given immortality through a demon, and the people in his clan that work for him find out this secret, and during every full moon he has to drink a potion because he turns old again, and the potion makes him young. They find out, they attack him and kill him and sever their relations with the demon, and that's when the Foot Clan joined the Righteous Path, and that's when Splinter, as oh god, I forgot his Japanese, the name just slipped out of my mind. I know Orokusaki was Shredder. Omadayoshi, when he was Omadayoshi and he was in the Foot Clan, and how Oroku Saki was the one. And ironically enough, his father, Oroku Saki's father, was the one that actually stopped Takeshi and usurped the Foot Clan from the demons. And his son was the one that actually now, as the Shredder, is bringing the Foot Clan back down to the darker paths. It goes to the professor, who's still trying to link things together. Foot Clan is watching him. Shredder's plan is revealed in this page. And then there's also kind of spoilerish ending. Goes back to the past for a bit, where it turns out the demon isn't really a demon. It turns out, spoiler alert, they're working with Krang, or one of the aliens that are like, it's Krang, I believe.
Krang is getting mentioned a lot in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics.
So Krang has a huge connection to the Foot Clan. What does that mean for the present day ongoing series? A lot. 2-to-1, Shredder and Krang are going to get together at some point, and it's going to be really interesting to see where the Turtles go from here. I'm enjoying this miniseries. If you're enjoying the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, this is a definite plus to your series. It's a miniseries. It's, I believe, 5 issues. I could be wrong. It could be 4. It could be 6. But it's worth every penny. It's an enjoyable read. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next issue. I believe next month, unless they try to catch up with themselves, because this issue was supposed to come out last month.
Oh.
I don't know why I bought this book. Green Lantern New Guardians #1. This book isn't really related to the Rise of the Third Army at all. I really have to start reading into the description for these books. You know, I'm so used to saying, okay, I buy Green Lantern, it's an annual, buy it. This book, it leads into next week, next Wednesday, the 16th, I believe, is next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, there's a new series for DC coming out called Threshold. It's, I believe, another Green Lantern book, but not really. It's about the guy in this book, as well as there's a side story. So yes, it's not a $2.99 book. It is a $3.99 book. So there's DC once again breaking their drawing the line at $2.99 rule.
I don't know why they're doing
and the secondary stories about Larfleeze. Now, I have no interest in getting any more brand new series from DC, let alone I'm not interested in this character. And basically, reading this book, there's a tiny connection to the Third Army. There's a tiny connection to Kyle. Very short. He makes, I would call it more of a cameo. This book has Acrylo, Satan Walker, and Star Sapphire. Those are the main 3 characters in this book. Star Sapphire gets captured. She's going to find this woman to break I believe it's a treaty. And then we're introduced to the main character. And the ending actually says to be continued next week in Threshold #1. And I don't know, I'm just not, the artwork was pretty good, I will say that. I'll show some artwork in the book. But once again, it's nothing really where if I could have, you know, if I had the knowledge I do now of this book, if I could go back in time and tell myself about this book, would I tell myself to get it? No, I'd actually tell myself to completely skip it.
Yeah, I was just saying, if this is annual, this doesn't relate to the Rise of the Third Army.
No, I'm trying to find
it doesn't say in the front.
There are 2 other books. There are 2 other annuals coming out this month. And I don't watch. It's not even in this book, and that would be hilarious because I'm trying to talk about the other annuals. And it's probably not. No, here's Animal Man. The other 2 annuals... Oh, here they are. The other 2 annuals that are coming out this month are Green Lantern Corps Annual #1 and Superboy Annual #1. And it has the origin... The truth and origin behind Superboy, and the Rise of the Third Army ends in Green Lantern Corps Annual #1. So basically, I feel like I wasted my money more than I actually got anything out of this book. It felt like, after reading this, I kind of was like, geez, could I go back in time and get my $5 back? Or my 3 and change back because there's a discount on Midtown? Or 4 and change, whatever it was. Would I say get it? If you're planning on getting Threshold #1, absolutely. Does this hold any ramifications in what's going on right now with the Green Lantern series? Absolutely not. You don't need this book. If you want to get into Threshold, you do need this book. You don't need it, but it gives you a background story. If you're not getting Threshold, like me, this book is a waste of your money. And this is why I wish I had a comic book store. Next, we have Smallville, issue 9. Impulse, Bart Allen, is back. And it turns out he's not alone. Something's chasing after him. And Lex is delving into his mind, trying to figure out Tess's secret. What's Tess's secret? Well, it's shown right here. She has her own little room. I remember when they went into Lex's mind back when Lex lost his memory.
I remember.
It's back again, the hallway.
Oh, wow, it is.
And it turns out Tess is in one of the rooms, and Tess holds all the memories of Clark as the Blur and how Clark was developing.
So they brought that back again.
Yeah, so basically all of the memories of Smallville between Lex and Clark are hidden inside that part of his brain. And unfortunately, he tries to break in, but fortunately, not unfortunately, he can't, and he has to leave. He has an interview with Lois. Some of the artwork made Clark look kind of like a kid at first, but it looks like a kid kind of at first. But as the book progressed, he actually looked.
Oh, they had the face transformation.
But it turns out some of the people from Project Ares, you remember Project Ares from Smallville?
Yes, I do.
They're coming back to haunt. Lex's past projects are coming back to haunt them. I love this part right here where Clark's like, if you need me, you know where to find me. And they have like the silhouette of the sun and everything. Nice. I thought that was cool.
That should be a good poster.
So, Superman and Impulse, who he has a new costume, take out the person that's trying to kill Lex. Lex has an interview with Lois, like I said, which doesn't go too well. And then really the rest of the book is Clark and Bart reliving the past a bit and just racing around, having a good time. Then for one panel we get to see Chloe, and there's a problem in Paris. Guess who speeds off to Paris? Clark and Bart. While Lex goes to his, I forgot this guy's name, and I'm not going to bother trying to remember it right now. And he says, I'll tell you what, I'll let you have some of your power back. Can you tell me what's in my mind? He actually sees Tess. But he says, you know what, crank it back on. I don't need the power, Mr. Luthor. He was and always will be an animal and a monster. And that's it. Back to Clark and Bart. Or I have to start calling him by his real name. Superman and Impulse. Yes, they're calling Bart Impulse here. They're fighting a monkey with a brain. It's completely ridiculous. The artwork is amazing, though. But we find out what's chasing Bart. We get to see what inside the Speed Force looks like. And it's this creature here. And then Clark and Bart save the day, so to speak. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly how. You could check it out either through hard paper form, or you could check out the 4 parts that are online. I choose to pay the $3.99 and have it all together in one big book. I've already missed about 3 parts of this month, but once I get the book for this month, I'll have caught up. This is a really good book, guys. If you enjoyed Smallville like I have, you will definitely enjoy this book. I loved it. Really good. And I can't wait to see how Season 11 continues to develop. Next is yours.
Yep. Green Arrow, issue number 16. This book was really excellent. This book talks about how, from last issue, how Harrow's plans comes to a halt with the police that got involved, and that took him to jail thanks to Gloria.
Gloria Viva.
Yeah. And there's a situation where Pike is planning to detonate and kill himself because of, all the stuff that he's been through, and artwork's great, by the way. And Gloria thinks that Green Arrow could help him talk him out of it, and I like this part where he shows him how to shoot the arrow, just to get his mind off of the bomb and everything, and Harrow does come back, and there was one part of the story that was really eerie. This part here with the whole ice pick in his eye. And his father gave it to him as a gift, and I was like, yeah. And he's still suffering from that head concussion, which doesn't bother him after he fights with Harrow. But, of course, Green Arrow does win the fight, and he takes...
I love how in the comic book, Green Arrow doesn't have the goatee anymore because everybody loved Green Arrow from Smallville, so they shaved it off.
Yeah. And the reason why
That's a nice panel also.
Yeah, this one too. And the reason why it showed Green Arrow saving the boy was because Green Arrow thought that he wasn't really, a hero saving people, but like you said here, fate is what happens despite the best laid plans, 1 hour at a time. And what really caught me into saying that I really like this book, it was really touching how he stopped Pike from killing himself, and this is a definite recommendation, guys. And I think in the next issue, which is a new story, Jeff Lemire, I think, is going to be in that one, and someone from My Vampire, and I can't wait to see that, but hopefully it doesn't affect the artwork and the story, because I'm liking Green Arrow. So.
I doubt Jeff Lemire is going to do anything but bring it higher up.
Highly recommended to get Green Arrow issue 16.
Next is a doubleheader, guys. I didn't talk about these books last month, and so now I've got to catch you guys up. Issue 16, Animal Man, Swamp Thing. Let's start with Animal Man.
Okay, Animal Man.
I have 7 minutes. I can do it. Animal Man. A Green Lantern is sent to Earth. This is in the Rot World present. They free the Green Lantern from this guy, which is Blackbriar Thorn, the Living City. They save the Green Lantern, who's made of vegetation.
It's from Justice League Dark. Blackbriar Thorn, yeah.
And Animal Man basically attacks him while they get the Green Lantern away and get him to charge his ring. Frankenstein's in there, and they're just fighting the Rot. While in the present, his daughter decides, and the Rot's chasing the daughter throughout all the flashbacks, and the Rot's telling her, either join us or your mom and family fall to darkness forever. In the end, she changes. She chooses to save her family by joining the Rot, and the mother's like, no, don't do it, and she's like, it's okay, Mom, Daddy is gonna be here, Daddy will fix things. So she ends up joining the Rot. So everything in the past is going to hell, and everything in the present's going a bit to hell also. We also we lose somebody.
Oh, what?
Because the Justice League, the Rot Justice League, is going up against Animal Man and the remaining members of his party.
Come on. Why? Wow.
Should I spoil it?
No,
I'll spoil it with names. So if you want to fast forward the next 5 seconds, I'll count down. 3, 2, 1. John Constantine. Flash fist through the chest. Wow. That's Animal Man. Also, you guys should be watching this after reading the books yourselves, so this way we can compare and contrast opinions. You could be writing in the comments right now as I'm doing the books, your opinion on the book. That's what I do when I watch other people's reviews. Swamp Thing 16, however, things go to hell in the past for him as well. But Batman, the man that he is, even though he's part of the Rot now, before he joined the Rot, left Alec Holland a message. He said, I have something, and when you see it, you'll understand. I started it, only you can finish it. While in the present, Abby's fighting the Rot and Anton Arcane, her uncle. And things don't look good for her at all. While back in the Rot world present, it turns out there is a safe hold in Gotham. In the one place nobody would think, Arkham Asylum. Or so they think.
Yeah.
So, Swamp Thing finds out that Batman started his bio-restorative formula to come out to fight against the Rot. And he's like, well, he has all the equipment here, and my body can provide whatever isn't here. So he starts working on the formula, which this page was really awesome. And by the way, guys, Yannick Paquet,
Yeah, Pascal.
I believe Steven on Comic Frontline got an interview with him.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
It's on the Dark Avenger Inc. Facebook page as well as Comic Frontline. You can go to blogger.com/Comic Frontline. I believe that's how you do it. Or just go on blogger.com, type in Comic Frontline, and you'll see it. You'll see us there.
Oh, Steven.
So, turns out it was a trap. The Rot attacks Arkham Asylum, and everything goes to hell. However, thanks to Batman having most of the bio-restorative ready, yeah, they have a means to fight back. So you have all the people from Gotham fighting back with guns. You have this huge tank that was created with the green, and then you have Swamp Thing, who has a pack attached to his back, and now he has a bunch of power. I'm not going to show the last page, but let's just say Abigail Arcane is going to definitely have a splitting headache after this. But in this book, we lost Animal Man's daughter, or didn't lose her, but she joined the Rot. In this book, I don't think we're going to be seeing Abigail Arcane unless Animal Man and Swamp Thing go back in time. Now, both books are saying the next issue is the final fight. Now, is the final fight going to be one issue or two? I have no idea, but I'm loving both books, and both books I highly recommend. I've been highly recommending them for 16 issues now, and I'll stick to that. And we have 2 minutes left, so I'm going to really jump into this quick. We're in Marvel. It's the Marvel Universe versus the Avengers, or should I say Hawkeye. Hawkeye versus Doctor Doom, who actually, you remember those necklaces? You remember I said there was going to be some type of a catch? I was right. He has a way of turning the necklaces on, and the necklaces actually infect the uninfected and reactivate the infected. So basically everybody who's wearing a necklace has been infected. Everybody's trying to find a cure for it. Nothing's working. But finally, in the end,
I saw the Punisher.
Hawkeye, Punisher's still okay. Hawkeye ends up ending Doctor Doom. I'll show that. However, as the cover shows, Hawkeye meets his end, but not to somebody who is looking for meat, but by the hands, as you can see from the cover, I'm going to spoil it here, of Thor. Hammer to the skull.
Wow.
Or the No More
That's
skull.
going to hurt tomorrow.
And it ends with the Punisher being the last person on Earth, and it actually says in the back, for what takes place before this story, you can check out Marvel Universe versus Wolverine, which I have. I don't know if you got this, Marvel Universe versus the Punisher.
No, I don't think I got that.
And then pick up Marvel Universe versus the Punisher, which picks up right where this story leaves off, and that's the conclusion. You should look into getting the trade paperback.
I actually am going to look into it, yeah.
I'm telling you guys the truth, the only reason why I didn't like the ending was I didn't like Thor bashing Clint's head in.
It's not like Thor, really.
I don't know, but the whole thing, do you need this miniseries? If you've been buying the Marvel Universe Versus, absolutely. If you haven't, then you don't. It's not zombies as much as it is a virus that was released by Magneto.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, Magneto destroyed the world. The end. And we are officially at 28 minutes. So, guys, I leave this book up to you. I leave the entire miniseries up to you guys. Alright, we're in the thick now of Marvel. Let's see if we can do the rest of the books in one episode, one part. See you guys in the next part.